Hey, Birkett here, along with Carlos Monarrez, back for the spring, Carlos. Before Memorial Day weekend, we got our first real glimpse of the Lions under Dan Campbell today. Got a little mini taste of it, rookie mini camp a couple weeks ago. But the Lions had an open OTA practice, their third one of the spring. And look, there was some news outside of that practice because the Lions had a special visitor today, Todd Gurley, potential free agent signing at running back. We will get to him in a second, but first, I guess it's sort of big news. Not that anything is super big news here in the spring, but Jelani Tavai lost 17 pounds. He's no longer the 270-pound linebacker. 270, first of all, right? 270 pounds he played at last year. Wow. He's no longer a 270-pound linebacker. Now he's like 250, 247. So are you buying what the Lions are selling that Jelani Tavai can be a factor for them this fall?
The jury's out, and he hasn't looked great in the first two seasons that he's played. He was definitely overdrafted, a second round pick. But someone asked him today in the Zoom call about what did you think of your first two seasons? And very indicative. You asked him, the great Dave Birkett, of course, great kudos to you. And he's like, I don't want to look back. And anytime a player doesn't want to look back, that they're not happy with the performance. But he started getting into the whole, like, I was used in different ways. And that's always kind of a backdoor way of saying, I wasn't really playing in my preferred position, right?
Yeah.
Going Kyle Van Noy world time and all that. So, I guess the opposite of that is he feels he is being used in the right position. And Aaron Glenn today said that, he's not promising him anything. He's just promising him a chance, not a starting spot. He's going to give him a chance to compete. So he looked, at 17 pounds lighter than, when he left. He looked small. He looked like a thin, like a safety to me, really, like a husky safety, I guess.
No, he looked like a linebacker finally, not like a I don't know, defensive end playing linebacker or whatever it was. So, but no, look, I'm going to give your boy a little bit of credit here in Matt Patricia, because Tavai was obviously drafted with that scheme in mind. He was a bigger linebacker to begin with out of Hawaii. And yes, as Aaron Glenn said, he was used on the edge, quite a bit last year. But we're not talking about a guy that was always lined up. Like Christian Jones was their sort of like, edge linebacker, right? That left end. Tavai was off the ball a little bit. This is a little bit more what he played at Hawaii, a little more similar to that, right? Playing sort of that middle linebacker stack, position off the ball. So maybe that can help unlock some talent. I knew Tavai was big, but I didn't realize he was playing at 270 last year. That's really what blows my mind. And I think, thinking back, you could see it in his play a little bit, right? Maybe that's why he was, slow in pass coverage, slow to react, why some of the movement skills weren't quite there that maybe the Lions thought they had early on. So I don't know if I'm completely buying it. You've got Jamie Collins at middle linebacker. They signed Alex Anzalone in free agency, spent a 4th-round pick on Derek Barnes, right? They traded up to get him. So it's not like he's going to be without competition. We need to see what happens, in the preseason when the pads come on. But hey, at least this is a guy that, 6 months ago, everyone was writing off, and 3 months ago, everyone was writing off and saying he's not even worth salvageable. But now, look, the Lions have something to build on there.
What about his special team upside? Is that he's a core special teams guy? Is that going to help his chances?
I do think so. Watching them today, he was still running first team punt cover. They just did some punt drills today. I do have my notebook down here. I'll see who else was on there with him. Let me pull this up as we're talking here. But Jelani Tavai was just to the left of Don Muhlbach, if I remember right. And I write this down. Yeah, let's see here. I don't know. It's going to take me too long to find it in my scribbled notes down here. But no, here we go. Look, Jelani Tavai, just to the left of Don Muhlbach. Alex Anzalone was just to the right, so those are a couple linebackers that you would expect at least that are going to play on, significant snaps on defense. No Jamie Collins, at practice today. But yeah, I think, Tavai's, given the position he plays, given still maybe the lack of numbers of traditional linebackers, you would think that he would have a role on the team. But it remains to be seen how big of a role that's going to be.
One thing that's interesting that Aaron Glenn was saying was, he was asked, what do you think so far of Tavai? He's seen almost nothing of him other than Zoom meetings, but he said, well, he's and this is the perfect NFL coach answer, and that I think helps Tavai greatly, is he said he's done what I asked of him. He's lost 17 pounds. He came in at the weight that we wanted him to come in at, close to 240. And boy, NFL coaches just love when you are a good soldier and line up and do what you're asked. That just creates so much goodwill for you and increases your chances if they can trust you. And so I think I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him if he doesn't make the initial roster. That wouldn't surprise me as well. We'll see in preseason how he performs and all that other stuff. But that he's giving himself the best chance right now. I'll give him that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He's certainly in the mix, much more so than, again, we would have thought, a month ago even. So to his credit, give him some credit for slimming down, for doing what he needed to do to get to this point. Look, the other thing that I think is worth talking about today is the Lions hosted Todd Gurley on a free agent visit, right? DeAndre Swift said he even talked to him briefly when he was there. Look, the Lions right now at running back, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams is their number 2 back. They spent he was the only free agent that they gave a multi-year deal to. They spent a 7th round pick on Jamar Jefferson. Todd Gurley, worth signing for the Lions, worth pursuing for the Lions. We know nothing about Jamar Jefferson, whether he's going to be a fit, have a role, whatever. I guess in theory you can have 4 running backs too, right? It's not like you need to be limited to 3, but I don't know. Todd Gurley, is he worth signing at this stage of his career?
This is every 2 years they go through this, right? LeGarrette Blount, they go with Adrian Peterson. They're like, we're gonna go jumping into the fountain of youth again, see if we can rediscover some of that old magic. But that tells you what shape the running back position is in. They don't. This running back group doesn't scare anybody, really. DeAndre Swift is still not really a proven commodity, and obviously got rid of Carry-On. Because, injury concerns, whatever, is the 3rd down guy, pass protection guy. So you don't really know what you have at this point. So you got to kick the tires, and you don't know how much tread is left on the tires with Gurley. You wouldn't imagine a whole lot. He's had too many injuries. When's the last time he was really, Pro Bowl caliber? Was it been 3 years since he's been in that?
2018. 2018, he had a good season. 2017 and 2018 seasons.
Yeah.
He was one of the best players in the NFL. That's 3 years ago, right? That's not that long ago.
That's an eternity in running back years. 3 years ago was 100 years ago. So, I give them credit for doing their due diligence and looking at guys and bringing them in. And for the fans and the viewers out there, Dave Birkett did his best to shout into the indoor facility, "Todd Gurley, come out if you're in there." So he didn't listen. We don't know if he was in there or not. John Neo could attest to this. So despite your best efforts, Dave, Todd Gurley did not come out and give us an interview. And even Swift said it amounted to, "Hey, what's up?" A head nod. So we don't know.
It's all right. I'm sure we will talk to him next week after he signs. They'll give him on a Zoom after their next OTA next week. They're open OTAs. So we'll see. Look, the Gurley thing, Carlos, I think you're right. I like the fact that you brought up, these old time running backs, right? Adrian Peterson last year was 35 years old, and LeGarrette Blount and Stephen Ridley. Remember Bob Quinn signed him as one of his signings. That's really, a lot of these teams, rather than in the Lions drafted a running back, right, in Jamar Jefferson, but rather than go with a young guy, even Kerryon Johnson, a young guy, still relatively young, they want some veteran retread at the running back position. And I don't totally get it. Look, Gurley was, I think he had a career low last year for the Atlanta Falcons, and he was okay. I don't have his stats up, but it was 600 and some yards, and so he was serviceable. But and I guess he could, in theory, be the, maybe what you're looking for at that position is you need a guy that, hey, something happens to our first 2 guys that you feel comfortable giving him the rock, a late season game with something on the line. So I understand why the Lions are kicking the tires on him, but I just I don't know. If you're going to go that route, then why get rid of Kerryon Johnson? I mean, I know the answer. They obviously didn't like Kerryon, right? And you reunite Gurley with Goff and whatever. You're trying to do this whole Rams thing again. That's not going to work in Detroit. But I don't know. It's not a move that moves the needle a great deal for me, even though the name I think would register with a lot of casual fans out there.
Well, he's a bigger running back, right? He'd be the biggest guy they have among those three other guys.
Jamal might be.
I don't think he's that big, is he?
The way he runs, at least. I don't know, but yeah, go ahead to your point.
Yeah, I just think you need, that kind of between the tackles, guy who's, good ball security, and he's going to get you those 2-3 yards when you need it.
Uh-oh, did we lose Carlos here?
That's where they're going with that.
Sorry, I thought we lost you there.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry
about that.
I was just looking up Todd Gurley's stats on Pro Football Reference here as we were talking, and look, again, there's when Todd Gurley was his first 4 years in the league, he was one of the best offensive players around, right? I mean, he had 40 touchdowns in that 2-year span with the Rams, and he was phenomenal. There's no doubt about that. And so, if the Lions, if there's any little bit of juice left in that body like there was a couple of years ago, maybe he's worth signing. I do think the Lions, I don't know, it makes sense because I think especially given the amount that the Lions are going to run the ball this year and the way the offense is going to be built, you have room for a fourth running back on the roster. I just, again, to me, I don't know, I wouldn't have brushed Kerryon to the side as quickly as I did if I wanted that fourth running back on my team.
It's all the NFL. It's Brad Holmes, right? Having familiarity with Todd Gurley, who knows what he said about him and getting him drafted. So it's always just my guy, right? Who do I trust? I trust my guy. Patriots, Rams, whatever it might be, So you're always going to bring in guys that and you have familiarity with. So I get it. I don't know how much value he's, on the field he's going to have, but like you said, late season might be able to get you a few yards and you need him.
National friends look out for each other league. That's what the NFL is. I mean, it really is. They bring each, whether it's coaches, GMs, whoever, they definitely all seem to keep their circles tight. So, look, again, just the way OTAs are, and especially the way practices are, we don't get to see, there's not a ton worth discussing that you see on the field these days, right? They're in helmets, there's no pads, they're not doing any really competitive drills, there's no one-on-ones. Yeah, so there's even my observations, I felt kind of bad writing them today. You kind of goaded me into it though, Carlos. You were like, are you going to write them? You're going to write them? So I felt like I had to, but all
right, I'm going to stop you. The people love this, Dave. Give the people, and let's not forget this. We're jaded because, longtime media members, we see this all the time. And to us, a walkthrough doesn't seem like much, 7%. But these poor fans have been, not only have they been starved just in general, but they didn't get to go to any games last year.
Sure.
There was no training camp. They didn't come to training camp. So they're looking for these little morsels. So any little thing, and I hate to say it, but I read your observations and I was like, damn, that's pretty good stuff. Like I didn't even see some of these things. And, so this is a great service to people. I think it should be in the Free Press Charter, the Dave Birkett must write observations anytime he's at a practice.
Subscriber only, but I will give everyone watching here, I'll give you two of the observations. Number one, Darren Fells had the best catch of the day. 7-on-7, going to the ground. Anthony Pittman draped over him, bobbled the ball a little bit, hauled it in for a catch. Good catch by Darren Fells. He'll be their number 2 tight end. Punt. Look, no one cares about special teams, but I did because they spent a lot of time on special teams today. Mike Ford, really good gunner. Mike Ford made just the way that he can chase that ball down the lines, did a drill today where they had their gunners down the sidelines 30 or so yards from the field. They're shooting balls off a jugs machine, and Mike Ford made a nice play down the sideline, better than some of the other guys. I thought Mike Ford and I thought Corn Elder were the two best at that drill. So there you go. 2 observations for you guys, for everyone out there. We'll give you some more next week. Next Thursday is our next OTA day. All right, before we get out of here, Carlos, Memorial Day plans? You doing anything fun?
Vacation days. I'm not answering my phone. Any lines, breaking news goes to you, Dave.
Get out of town.
No, you're always on the clock. Like a fireman, you can't leave your post. So no, nothing. We're just kicking it, doing some planting, some yard work, some hanging out with friends. How about you? What are you guys up to?
You can come over and do some yard work in my front yard when you're done. I would appreciate that. I have some shrubs there. I need a couple of shrubs planted. So come on over. You know the address. I'm going to take the kids. I think we're going to go hit one or more Hall of Fames, maybe football and baseball. I don't know. It'll be a super long drive on a quick weekend, but you know, my son's a huge baseball fan, especially that Cal State Fullerton team of yours. So we might, you can hear him in the background. He just said, I heard that. We might make the drive all the way up to Cooperstown. I'm not sure. We're going to go see a baseball game somewhere at the very least. So, you know, we'll be bouncing around. So I say Lions news coming to you.
Cooperstown is definitely worth a visit if you're a baseball fan. It's not hugely interactive, but I think they've done a good job with the displays, and there's a lot of reading involved. So I don't know if Jack's going to be up for reading all the little nuance and stuff, but it's pretty cool. It's neat to see all the artifacts that they have, and so but it's hard to get to. It's not easy to.
No.
Cooperstown,
especially now that you can't go through Canada. But you know what? He graduated kindergarten today, so if the reading is at a kindergarten level or first grade level, I don't know what he would be considered right now. He'll read it. So there you go. All right, we'll leave it at that. That'll do it for us. We're off to enjoy a holiday weekend. I hope everyone out there gets a little time with their family too. Gets to get away. Maybe probably not swimming weather here in Michigan, but you know, get outside, enjoy the outdoors. If you need some yard work done, you know, after Carlos does my house, maybe he can come to yours too. So go ahead and hit him up on email and see if he's got any openings in his schedule. But that'll do it for us. Carlos, enjoy the weekend. Hope the family's well. And we'll do this again next week. For Carlos Monarrez, I'm Dave Birkett, freak.com.